Hi guys, I'm back for another video and welcome to my... Why did I start doing that intro? Weird. I'm doing a piercing FAQ today. You sent me all of your questions on Instagram, so come and follow me on Instagram. You can send me all your piercing questions for the next one. But today I'm going to be asking... Hashtag triggered train, I need to I'm going to answer your questions. What the hell was that? How many piercings are too many? Be honest. So I'm going to kind of answer this almost like a politician would answer some questions. I mean, it all depends on your own personal view. Like, a lot of people will look what I have and think that's way too many. I personally don't think how many that I've got is too many. It definitely is down by your own view on it. If you look at this picture that I had in one of my piercing reactions, stuff like this was too many. Like, I look at that and think it looks a bit of a mess. I don't like that at all. I think that is too many. But I'm sure he probably thinks it's fabulous. I don't think I really want to get any more facial piercings unless I take some of them out, just because I don't want to put any more there. Like, to me, I'm kind of at my limit where I do think, maybe that is enough. Ear-wise, I'm happy to give like a few more in there. When you have a tongue piercing, can you taste the jewellery on your tongue? What a question. Now, I don't have one, so I can't necessarily comment on it, but I don't know, I guess it depends on what you're doing. I mean, does metal really taste of anything? Like, when you eat your dinner, you don't taste the knife and fork when you eat. Do all local piercing studios do conch punch? No, so there will definitely be limits to what certain piercers will do. My piercer was obviously Veronica's amazing, so she can do slightly more, like, higher end ones. Like when I got my dermal conch punch through, which is my 6mm hole here, the first person turned me away, and I think she turned me away. She said it's because I had to think about what the problem was. I think she just couldn't do it. But Veronica was constantly like, yeah, come on, I'll do it for you straight away. Some piercers only feel comfortable doing certain piercings, and also piercing studios, like my studio at the moment that I go to, they don't do cheek piercings. If you saw the video of Veronica, they don't do cheek piercings just because of the dangers that happen with it. Conch punches are definitely more of on the extreme side, so a lot of them won't do it. So you'll definitely have to shop around for that. Do any dermal piercings go funky after you lose a lot of weight? That's actually a really interesting question. I've never been asked that before, ever. If you have, say you got your arm done, your wrist or something, and you've got large wrists, I feel like if you are large wrist and you do lose a lot of weight, it will definitely be a lot looser because your skin will be looser. Depends on how big you are. Like, if you're just slightly sort of bigger and you lose weight and the skin goes back to the way it was before, I don't think there'll be any difference. I think if you are larger and you do have a lot of excess skin, then it's going to be loose, because I guess it lays under the skin surface. It doesn't go into the fat. So, because like I've had my wrist pierced and my wrists are like thin as anything, so like it's just under the skin. Do you have to have a specific ear shape to get a dermal conch punch like yours? So actually, this is with most piercings, to be honest. You have to have like space for everything. Not every single person can get root piercings. Not every single person can get tragus piercings. Not every single person can get industrial piercing. It all depends on the shape of your ear. So yes, some people's ears may not necessarily be the best shaped for it. So basically, yes, any piercing does have a slight requirement to get them done, but your piercer will know that, so just go and ask them. Would you ever get any more piercings on your face, like another lip or some high nostrils? I actually quite like the amount that I've got now. I don't think I want to put any more on there. I just don't want to be too much. I'm not one of those people that goes, oh, you've ruined your face, because personally, to me, I just don't think I really want more on my face. I quite like the way that they are now. What if a professional uses a piercing gun? Okay, so I actually surprisingly get asked this a lot. Like, there was about 10 questions in the list of things that was said about this. No professional piercer will ever use a piercing gun. If they say they're a professional and then they use a piercing gun, they're not. Oh, I'm burping, they're not a professional. No professional will use a piercing gun. Please remember that. I really want my nipples pierced, but I'm afraid they'll rip out easily. Do you have any complaints? The fear is real, bitch. I am so scared all the time that I'm gonna rip it out, I'm gonna knock it. Like, I don't know how long this fear is gonna last for. I mean, mine isn't completely healed, so maybe once it is healed, the fear might go a bit, but the fear is real. I've only caught it a couple times on loofahs, but I don't use it anymore, so I haven't caught it again. I sometimes get a bit nervous when I go too close to a door and I open a door and I'm scared that I'm gonna knock it. But actually, like, if you're careful, like, how often do you hit your nipples? Like, how often do you hit your nipples anyway? Outside of, like, sexual encounters, like, how often do you actually hit your nipples? Would you ever get a dermal on top of your head? Spikes, though. Oh my God, again, this is another question that I get all the time, constantly. Would I ever get spikes on my head? Would I ever get dermals on my head? Would I ever do anything to my head? I have a really weird relationship with my head. and this sounds stupid, I know it sounds absolutely ridiculous, but like I absolutely hate anything on it, like hurting it, damaging it. I like my head to be pristine, like, and if it's not completely shaved properly, I'll wear a hat. Like today I'm wearing a hat because I have a bit of stubble there. I have no issue with the fact that I've gone bald. I have no issue, I love it, I don't care about that. But one thing I really hate is like when my hair starts to grow back and you can see that I'm going bald, because I still do have hair here, just not very much, and that upsets me. So I make sure I get rid of it all the time. Like 2 days I'll last and then I'll shave my head. I just need to get razors while I'm wearing a hat now. It took me about 6 months to come to terms with the fact that I had cracked my head open in 2016 and I have a scar on the top of my head. I have a scar that goes back here. And it took me about 6 months to even come to terms with the fact that I did that, because my head is so precious to me. And I know that sounds so weird, but I love it. Like there's something about having on my bald head, I just love it. And this is why I hate it as well when people touch my head. Do not ever touch my head unless I love you and you're someone who I'm really close to, like my best friend, or you know, just people in my life who are so close to me, then yeah, you can do it. But like, if I don't know you, do not touch my head. It's not appropriate. I don't know what it is about people thinking it's okay to touch someone's head because they don't have hair. And no, I would never do anything to it. Never. I would never get a hair transplant. I will never put a tattoo on my head. I will never put spikes or dermals on my head. I will never do anything that will like do anything to my head. I love my head the way that it is. What is your biggest fear when getting pierced? I don't really have the fear of the pain anymore. Like now that I've done my nipple piercing, like my nipple piercing, I was scared about the pain because I was told it's gonna be like horrendous, but it actually wasn't that bad. It's more the aftercare, because you never know exactly how something's going to heal. Sometimes, like I said, I've had piercings that have healed within weeks and they feel perfectly fine. I've changed them and they'll be like, hey, this is weird. But then I've had piercings that have taken years and years and years to heal. So it's more like the kind of thought of the aftercare and how long it's gonna take. What's the worst encounter you've had with someone about your piercings? So this isn't really like a worst encounter. It was more of a moment that made me just go like, what? Like, what happened? I think I mentioned this like maybe about 2 years ago. When I worked in Morrison's, I worked in Morrison's for a long time, 10 years in retail, beep beep, money please bitch. So just when I moved to London, I had someone come into my store and they came up to me and was like, why do you have so many piercings? Because you're not ugly. And I was just like, what? What do you mean I'm not ugly? I was like, well, thank you. But also like, what? And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, you've got a nice face. I don't understand why you've put all those piercings on it. And I was like, I still don't understand what you mean because I'm not ugly. And we went back and forward for a little bit. And this woman genuinely thought, literally genuinely thought, that people got piercings because they thought they were ugly and piercings made them more attractive. And I was just like, who taught you that? Who taught you that only ugly people get piercings? I was just insane. So she was like, you have such a nice face, you're so handsome. I don't know why you're piercing yourself, because you don't need them. And I was like, what do you mean I don't need them? Like, I'm not getting them for any purpose. I'm getting, like, it was ludicrous. And this woman thought you had to be, like, she literally thought that people got piercings because they thought they were ugly. And if anything, me getting piercings makes me more ugly. I'm a lot less attractive to people with all this in. I know this is my echo chamber, so a lot of you are like, don't be so stupid, you look nice. But in the wider world, like in the dating scene, like, trust me, I know this makes me a less attractive to a lot of people. Why can't you wear a Labret piercing? Is it because it erodes your gums, and can you put a smaller bar in it? So I am actually wearing it in at the moment. I do only really wear it sometimes in videos. I don't generally go out wearing it. When I basically first got my piercing done, I was an idiot and I left the long bar in there too long. Like the bar that they put it in obviously is really long to accommodate for swelling. Idiotically, I didn't take it out and so what happened was the bar was so long that it was constantly rubbing against the inside of my gum. So it did erode the top of my gum here a little bit. I only put it in now just for like videos, and sometimes I might take some photos and have it in. I rarely go out in it just because over long periods of time, I'm really scared about damaging my teeth. My teeth are so important to me. In your opinion, which side looks better for a nose piercing? For me, obviously I wanted all of it done. It depends on your own face. Some, you know, people's faces are different. So some faces will look better if you have it on the left or some on the right. Like it depending on what your features are, you know, it's hard to tell from just not even seeing you or knowing what you look like. Like it just depends on your own facial structure. Like I can't just be like the left always looks better on everyone, because in some cases it won't. What's your opinion on heavily modified teenagers 15/16? Now I know this is actually quite a big demographic on my channel, and I'm not saying this stuff to kind of like upset you or to be like, oh, you shouldn't be doing it. I think you just have to be very careful. Get loads of ear piercings when you're young, it's fine, whatever, your ears, you know, they'll heal, whatever. But like when people start getting like heavy mods, like they're stretching their ears really big and they've got loads of facial piercings, they've got loads of stuff, and they're like, you know, doing all that kind of stuff themselves. I just think you have to remember, like, I know I sound like an old bastard saying this, I'm completely aware. You are gonna change so much as you get older, and trust me, the things that you like and do when you're 15, you will not like when you're 25. It's very rare that you're gonna like the same things. I am in like 60, 70% a completely different person, like a completely different person to when I was 15, 16. You know, I've seen a lot of people who are 15, 16, especially back when I was young, kind of like the emo phase of people. They would get loads of lip piercings, they would have like so many just all over their face and their lips and stuff. And I saw a lot of people doing that, especially like online. And they've got like loads of like dots and scars now all over their face and things of getting them when they're younger. And I think just be warned that if you're gonna get stuff, they are gonna leave marks on your face. You get, like I said, you can get loads in your ears because, you know, it's not so much of a big deal. They're away, like if you want to take them out, you won't really see it. But if you're gonna get anything kind of like in this vicinity, just be warned that you're gonna be left with marks, and you're gonna be left with scars, and you just have to know that. Just be sure this is what you want, and you're not doing it because you wanna look cool, and you're not doing it because someone else has got it. Do it because you actually love it, and it's something that you really want to, you know, do. How do you stop babies from pulling piercings off your face? Stop going near babies. You take off some of your piercings to change your look. When did you start doing this? I've changed so much recently, and I am gonna do a video about the whole thing anyway, and it's a lot of it's from doing YouTube full time. I actually really like the fact that I can swap and change them. I don't know why I never really did it before. Like now I've just got my Labret in, I've taken out my spider bites, I've got my septum in and stuff, my nose and things. I don't really change out my ears that much because you can't really tell, but my facial ones, I like being able to swap them out and change them. So sometimes I might not have my nose in, or I have my lip ones in instead. It's just, I don't know, I kind of like experimenting and changing. You know, I've kind of looked the same for a long time now, and I kind of want to change it up a bit. And yeah, it's kind of just like, I like to experiment, and I just kind of think, I don't know why I haven't done it sooner really, because it's fun to change it up and be like, oh, this looks different. So hopefully I've answered a lot of your questions you have had. I'm really sorry, I literally had about 300-400 questions, so I couldn't do them all, but thank you so much for all your questions. Again, come and follow me on Instagram, and you can get in for the next piercing FAQ video I do very soon. And make sure you do keep sending me lots of things to react to for my next piercing reaction video. Hit the like button, this really, really help me out. Share with all your friends, all the good kind of stuff. Come follow me on social medias. All the links are down below. Be fast, amazingly gay, be everything you want to be, and don't need a bitch they take on with you, because you are flawless. Yes! Oh my gosh. Hi guys, thank you so much for making it to the end of the video. I want to give an extra special shout out to my Patreons: Kiwi Roseberry, Galaxy Star Fire, Curtis Mitchell, Nikki NG, Michelle Erickson, Kelly Bowser, Fred Monster, Kia, Catherine Lamb, and Philippa Clark. Thank you so much for becoming my top tier Patreons. There's a link down below if anyone else would like to join the family. Yes, thank you, bye.